Hello, Pokey people. Today we're going to be making Snorlax out of gum paste. And if you like what you see, please be sure to hit the like button below and subscribe, and you can follow along all of my awesome tutorials. Alright, to make Snorlax, we're going to start with a big ball of like a greenish blue gum paste and kind of squat it down. He's kind of, dumpy shaped. And once you have your ball, I stuck a lollipop stick in it to support the head that's going to come later. And I made a cream little belly. I just cut out a circle and then pulled the corners to make it more triangular shaped. And then apply some water to where it's going to stick onto his belly. And then just press it into place. It's not hard at all. He's pretty basic. He's like a gumdrop with a head and flipper arms, so he's not too hard. Once you get that placed, I'm going to make the feet next. And all I did was cut out 2 circles that are kind of thick of the cream, and then pressed them down with my hand to make them more oval shaped. And then I made 2 little brown circles that are really flat, roll them out nice and flat, and I did the same thing. I pulled them a little bit to make them more oval shaped, add a little bit of water and stick them onto the feet. But when you do, place them a little lower to the bottom of the oval because the pads of his feet are not centered, they're more to the bottom. And once you get them stuck on, add some water to the back of the feet and then place them against the body and just press them into place. Now his arms are very basic. There's nothing to them. They just look like a couple of flippers. So all I did to make them was roll out a log, basically, press it down to make it more flippery on the ends because they're kind of thin too and they taper. And then I just trimmed away the excess at the top so it would go around the lollipop stick that I have sticking out. And then I trimmed some more to make sure nothing would be sticking out from under his head. And when I had the right size and shape, apply some water, just a little bit, right around where you're going to stick it onto his body. And then press it into place. And once you get it into place, then press it down tight to the body because you don't want a lump where the head is going to sit because that will raise it up and you'll see it under the neck and it'll just look weird. And to make the head, I made a ball, a round ball, and then I squished it a little bit in the middle and pinched the 2 sides to make kind of cat ears out of it. You can kind of see in the video, it's pretty quick. But the cat ears blend with the outside of the head. So you're going to see me in a moment. I'm going to take my knife and press the insides to make the inside edges of the ears sharp where it connects to the head. But the outside, like I said, just kind of follows the curve of his head. So don't worry about that. But basically, cat ear head, yeah. And once you get that done, all I'm doing here is I'm tracing an outline of where the face is going to sit and drawing where his widow's peak is going to be. And once I had it mapped out, I pressed down to make an indentation. So when I cut out the cream circle to put it on his face, it's not going to sit above his face, if you know what I mean. It's going to be recessed into it better, and it just gives it a nicer, cleaner look. So just cleaning up my edges here, pressing down everywhere. And I have a whole bunch of circles. They're biscuit cutters. So I just found the right size circle that I needed that would fit the face. And then rolled out my thin piece of cream and then matched it up to the head. And I used the knife. I laid it over the face, and the widow's peak stuck out underneath of it. So I just used the blade to mark it off so I can use it as a template to know where I had to cut my divot. And then I added some water, just like always. You don't need to make this special mix of gum paste and water solution to sit for an hour. Just water is fine. It's all propaganda, I think. But then press it into place and smooth it down. The bottom of the circle goes under the head, which is actually something that you want so that it looks like his face continues down into his belly. And then a little bit of water and press his head on. Now all I'm doing here is adding the toenails and the fingernails. I took the paper towels that were under the flippers off. And there's 3 on each foot and 4 claws on each hand. I just made little cones, little tiny cones, and used a little touch of water and stuck them into place. To make the eyes and the mouth, it's just little thin pieces of black gum paste, a little bit of water, and press them onto place. And I use the back of the paintbrush to just get the curve of the mouth and the eyes correct so it looked a little better. See? Isn't that awesome? Now he's a very plain Pokemon, so I decided to add a little bit of the detail. I don't think you can really see it in the picture on my phone there, but he's got some lines on his chest. I don't know if it's supposed to be shading or, stretch marks or something. but I decided to add those on just to make him a little more interesting looking. 2 little triangles for his teeth, and he is done. He is not hard, he's actually very simple, and he looks super cool when he's all done. And don't forget, if you want to see me make something else, please comment below and I can see if I can take your request. If you like what you saw, please like and please subscribe.